So I wanted to show you guys is how to use charcoal and chalk and Conti, etc. So I got a bunch of stuff here, and there is different type of paper. Paper that I like a lot is Fabriano Angre. Kind of expensive, but it's very good paper. I'm gonna write down the names later, right? But this paper. Today I'm gonna use the regular drawing paper that we all have, right? But then I'm gonna make you a list of papers that you might want to try. So let's say that we start working with charcoal, right? So we could use the charcoal like this. This is nitram, right? Nitram is a very good. It's very good charcoal brand, right? You probably know it already, and it comes in 3 or 4 gradation. I usually buy all 3 of them or 4 of them. You can use nitram if you want. If you don't have it, that's fine. But try not to use sticks. It's round sticks. For me, this is my personal opinion. The round sticks are a little bit tricky to use because they are difficult to hold. And when you want to create a line, a straight line like this, right? It's difficult to hold the charcoal without some kind of clunkiness or effort, right? So the square sticks are a little bit bigger, right? And having edges, sharp edges, they give you the possibility of blocking in both, or creating both straight line like this, right? And also wide marks like this. So when we start blocking the figure, we can use this to our advantage. Right? Also, the other thing is this, the streaks of the charcoal, be it square or round, create almost without effort, right, a 3-dimensional effect, as you can see that, right? So we want to learn to use this 3-dimensional effect that you can obtain with a stick of charcoal by varying the angle you hold the charcoal toward the paper. So now I'm using the charcoal straight, trying to make a line, a straight line. Then I turn it, right, and I go with the wide side, and then again back to the thin side, right, and create all these smears. See how this almost looks like a feather, look, right? Almost looks like a feather. So you could eventually from here maybe block in some detail, right, and make it into a feather very quickly, right? So it quickly suggests dimension, structure, texture, if it's used properly. So it's a very versatile medium. What it does though is it tends to intimidate students because it's messy, it makes a lot of dust, and or people think it's not very precise, but in reality, if you just sharpen it, you can really achieve a great level of detail even with charcoal. The mark is going to be a little bit more coarse and harsh than graphite, but if you sharpen properly, you can achieve a great level of detail. This being said, it's easier when you draw with charcoal if you make drawing a little bit bigger than you would make them with graphite. It's simply easier, right? Also because that way you can use the sweeping marks a little bit more at ease, right? So let's see. I would like to start therefore with today with let's start with 10 2-minute poses, right? 10 2-minute poses. When you work with charcoal, let's see. I like to start with the soft, right? The soft, and so I don't know why they put all these little stickers in there. It's such a pain to take off. I know. So imagine now that we have a pose of Andrea, right? Andrea is posing. So let's try to block in, right? To block in the fluidity of the pose like this, right? Blocking the fluidity of the pose. For example, I have now the head is here, the rib cage is here, the leg is going down this way, right? And then I have another leg coming down this way, right? This arm is going up this way. So eventually what you can do, it can go back, block in. I block in these muscles, right? This volume with the, with my charcoal stick like this, right? Following a little bit the general direction that I have, always editing what the first line of flow, right? The line of flow is just a quick synthesis of the whole thing. So we have something like this, right, where the figure is maybe spinning around, moving like this, right, very quickly rendered. And we can also block in some tonal aspect of the figure, right? To suggest the dimensionality, and off we move to another one, right? So try to do this now, right? This approach, as I just told you, don't do small little drawings. Let me do it again, right? I'm gonna do one more, right? So for this approach, if you have a smaller piece of charcoal like this, right, possibly square, it would be better, right? So we could do this, for example, right? Blocking the general direction of the volume, then start defining the form like this, right? See that? We want to try to really get the fluidity of the thing going, the sense of movement also, the dynamism of the form, right? Right. So you see what happening here. If we can, what you want to do, practice to go from a thin line to a thick line like that. That will suggest the sense of volume. See that? So from thick to thin, right? And anything in between. So maybe this other leg, I know, is here, right? And then after that, what we can do, we can take the charcoal stick, use it now on one of the corners or the point, and then edit, go over the original, the first loose mark, right? And define the detail. We're gonna have Andrea posing, so you can spend a little bit of time looking at the anatomical detail, right? Carefully. And your work should gradually become more and more realistic, right? We could indulge in this and put all the anatomy that we want, right? The pecs, right? But what you don't want to do, you don't want to do stick figures. Don't do the stick figures like that, right? Try to capture an almost invisible sense of movement, right? Synthesize the sense of movement in the figure, right? So is this clear? Because we can start without any further.
It's really interesting and looks challenging.
Yeah, we'll see, right? But listen, don't freak out right away, right? When the first 2 or 3 drawings will not come out the way you want, keep at it. It's gonna take a little bit of trying, right? And faith, a blind faith in keep going and say, all right, let's see if the next mark will come out better, right? let's see if I can, what did I do wrong, or did I achieve the right result I wanted, what is good, what is bad, and then keep at it, right? Keep at it. So, but make them a little bit bigger. See how this kind of the size of bigger than my hand, right? So at least this size in here.